Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're talking about the wedding we've been waiting for since 2022. The episode 3 of season 3 of Euphoria, The Wedding, which by the way, this episode really felt like the movies of two of our stars mixed together. The drama, with Zendaya, and The Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney. But first, before we even get to the wedding, we get what has Jules been doing since high school. So Jules was a UCLA or USC art school student, and we see the origin of how Jules became a sugar baby. And I gotta say, first of all, we're learning about a lot of weird fetishes that people have in the world, which I did not know. So first, we meet a couple of the men that Jules she's I don't even wanna say sleeping with because she doesn't outside the guy who is an evil version of Derek Shepherd meets Dexter, meets, the dude from Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. The first guy is like a 48-year-old incel guy who doesn't have sex, who just likes to eat women who wear nylon, like, he doesn't even fuck Jules. Then we have, a director who, Jules sleeps with. Then we have a Wall Street exec that Jules, like, gives head under the table, and we just see how this has been working. Then we meet evil Derek Shepherd, who is what the fuck is the proper way to say this? Cosmic was a plastic surgery surgeon, right? And he talks to Jules, he's like, "Wow, when did you transition?" And Jules is like, "I transitioned at 14, and so you never went through male puberty, and your boobs are natural," and stuff like this. And they just have this conversation, and he's like, "Yeah, my wife knows I have fetishes or whatever, and this is the weird thing is I wanna know because this seems a lot similar to the Christy Nome situation where, Christy Nome's husband likes to wear boobs and fuck men or get fucked by men or whatever the fuck that entire situation was happening. And, like, how many God, how does one know this is their fetish? Because he wraps Jules in Saran wrap, who like, as if like Dexter does it when he's about to kill somebody, he does that and then eats her out, like, gives little air holes like that. And remember, he bought a penthouse um, for Jules where she lives, and the wife knows and everyone's perfectly okay with this. It's just, insane what is happening. I didn't know and they all know, like, Jules is trans, and I'm still that don't cancel me for this. I'm confused if Jules had, like, full trans surgery yet, like, where, the dick got chopped off and all this other shit, but whatever. We learned that Jules is, Ellis. I do find it funny that his name is Ellis. For those who don't know, Ellis is the name of Meredith Grey's mother in Grey's Anatomy, and this guy looks a lot like Derek Shepherd, but evil Derek Shepherd, and he's just, he sees everything through a plastic surgeon lens, and it's quite interesting. And that is the most and that's how the first, I wanna say 11, 12 minutes of this episode happens, and then we have the pig that eats the dead bodies and shits out the dead bodies, gets sent back to the strip club, has massive diarrhea at the strip club. Alamo shoots the what's it called? The pig, and the blood spatters all over one of the fucking stripper hookers. And we also see that Rue is moving guns now, okay? Rue is, like, head of the thing, and she's very good at selling guns, and she looks so hot doing it. Also, Rue now dresses like a lesbian in Bushwick, Brooklyn, okay? And that's how that part is happening. Then we get to the wedding, okay? Jules is first of all, the dresses that Jules and Maddie are wearing to this fucking wedding, I don't think they are upstaging Sydney Sweeney in her beautiful dress. And I'm just like, I don't like, I don't get invited to weddings at all because I just don't believe any marriage will last. I also don't think I'm ever going to get married. And we're gonna get into the wedding dance situation that happens at this wedding later because I'm still confused that this is a thing because the drama and Freakier Friday. They both had this whole sequence in their movies about learning some fancy dance for their wedding, and I just wanna know, like, why is that a thing? You know what? I'm gonna go straight into the wedding dance aspect, this crazy sexual dance that Nate and Kate and Cassie do, which, by the way, happens after the guy that Nate owes money comes threatens them, like, he comes to the wedding, he threatens them, and we learn that, wow, Nate is really in debt and all of this, he just comes to the wedding and then he leaves. They do this crazy sexual dance. Um, this wedding aspect, I gotta say, why is this a thing, this fancy performance you're doing? I don't understand it. What is the purpose of it? Can I just say, now I've watched a lot of television in my life, and I've seen a lot of my favorite TV characters get married or pretend married, whether it's like Finn and Rachel in Glee and all the fucking dances that happen at Mystic Falls on the Vampire Diaries and the originals. I gotta say, there's a dance in the Vampire Diaries that they do where with the hand dance that I've seen on TikTok people get married to. If I ever got married, I think that is the dance I would get married to because that seems like to be the most classiest formal type of dance. Because whatever the fuck happens in Freakier Friday and the drama and now Euphoria, I'm like, these are stupid. Well, who's wasting their time doing this choreography and doing like what is the purpose of it? I now think anyone who does the dance thing to get married ends in divorce. Also, I want to just give round of applause to Maddie in that green dress because I would fuck the shit out of Maddie. Like holy shit, she looks so good. She looks better than fucking Kathy, and Nate just is throwing up the entire wedding. Oh, also, Eric Dane giving the performance of his life this episode of Euphoria. Like, they are so lucky they were able to film this before his ALS really, like, degenerated him because you wouldn't know he, has ALS at all from this episode. Like, Sam Levinson, gold star. Also, Sam Levinson and his hatred of Gavin Newsom is just amazing because we learn why these fucking environmental regulations are why Nate isn't able to build this, hospice condo facility because of, Gavin Newsom's stupid environmental laws, right? Gavin Newsom must clearly love Ezra Klein in abundance to get rid of all these fucking climate rules. We also learn, what's it called? Not, Lexi is a virgin. Lexi, who's like 26, 27, still a virgin. I gotta say, Maude Apatow looks beautiful this episode, so does, Maddie. Oh, and then at the end of the episode, Nate gets jumped by, the people he owes money with in the house, and there's this scene where Cassie's just crying, and the guy's like, "Don't cry, it's your wedding day, it's gonna ruin your makeup," and a bunch of other shit, and they cut Nate's pinky toe off, and it's a good full circle moment of from season 1 where Nate beat the shit out of that one guy and made him go to jail for fake crimes because he fucked, Maddie because Nate was a sociopath. Because you gotta think, sociopathic Nate from season 1 and 2 would have fought back and beat the shit out of it and be prepared. But now they, like, Jacob Elordi's tired of being the sociopath, which is interesting because Wuthering Heights, he basically plays, 1500s version of Nate Jacob. But also, what's it called? Sydney Sweeney's dress in the wedding looks so, like, stripperish. Oh, and then Rue gets arrested by the DEA at the end of the episode, so that is what has happened. Listen, I don't know why the critics hated the first 3 episodes of Euphoria. This feels like Euphoria again. It's fucking amazing. I understand they don't like critiques of the liberal order or whatever because the critics put their own political beliefs in reviews, which is why they all hate the Taylor Sheridan shows, despite the fact that, look, Landman only had 1 really awful episode in season 2. The Madison was so good that they ignored the Taylor Sheridan aspect of it all. But yeah, that's what happened on Euphoria, the wedding. Shame. Totally. I don't like in terms of who I would wanna fuck on Euphoria, I think I would wanna date Lexi, but I wanna fuck Maddie.